Hello and welcome everybody to the 6th episode of the Super Nintendo World Series. This episode is going to be a little bit special. Like the last episode that was a summary of the area, this episode is going to be similar but a little bit different because you haven't seen anything about this. I told you last week that I was going to start the Darkride, the Yoshi Darkride in this episode, and I actually started the Darkride, but not as you think. I haven't put any tracks or any rooms or anything like that, but what I have done was make the sculpts for the figures for the Darkride, the animatronics, but of course I can't make them move with Planet Coaster, so it's a bit, but yeah, let's say I've been working on the animatronics of the ride, even if they are not animated, and I'm really happy to show you this because it's taken me a lot of time, the whole week. I wanted to post this video midweek because I thought it was going to be easier, or that, no, let me rephrase that. I thought I was going to make less animatronics, okay? But at the end I built 60 of them. Yeah, there's 60 animatronics, like 60, not 1660. And I'm somewhat proud of the work I've done here. Some of them are better, some of them are a little worse. I'm going to talk about them when I show you, but I hope you like them, and I'm really happy. I think I'm really happy with the result. And let's start with showing you the outside of the Yoshi Darkride. Has some small changes thanks to the sculpts or the animatronics or the figures. I don't know how to call them because I would like to call them animatronics, but they don't move. But let's say they are animatronics just to make it easier. And if you go down, yeah, you remember I made at the beginning some thwomps and this rock with spikes and the question blocks typical of the Mario universe and things like that. But now I try to make characters, and this is important because I try to make them guest size, so they worked as animatronics inside the ride and outside the ride, and it was a really challenging thing to do, but at the end I think it worked out, or so I think. You just let me know in the comments. And I'm going to show you the first one in the mountain. These are all made. These ones that I'm going to show you now are the first that were made because the outside of the mountain in the artwork has these animatronics, so that's why I made them first. Here's a white Yoshi. You probably know who Yoshi is. Is the friend, the Mario dinosaur friend he has, and he goes in adventures with him, helping him and all that. And he also stars in some games called the Yoshi Island series. It's a really good series if you haven't played. And here's a Koopa, one of the Mario enemies. He's walking on the mountain. And here you can see a column of 4 Goombas, nearly like collapsing. And this one was actually the first thing I made with the art chips. And this is not the first version. The first version is one that I'm going to show in a minute, and it's a little bit crappy, I think, and that's why I made this one that I liked a little more. And yes, I think there's a green Yoshi and also blue Yoshi here. Oh, here they are. Here's the green Yoshi and the blue Yoshi. The blue Yoshi is sit down, and I think here's a red one. Yep. Here's a red one saying hello, and these ones are the ones that you can see in the artwork. But then I started to make more and more for the inside of the Darkride until it got out of hand that I made like 68 characters, and I will show it you now. So let's start with the first one. So here are the Goombas, and you can see here the first one that I really made. This crappy looking Goomba that I wasn't really happy with. I used these spheres to make like the face, and I said to myself, no, this is not that good. This doesn't look really good, and I was a little bit down because I thought it was going to be really difficult because of how this looked. and I thought I'm going to try to make it better. And the second Goomba is the one that I decided at the end. And I thought, yeah, this is, I think this is the one that I really want to use here. And making this one helped me a lot, going a little bit more in detail with the things, all the characters that I'm going to show you next. And as you can see, yeah, it looks a little bit like, it's not 3ds Max, it's not Maya, it's not a 3D program where you can make perfectly a 3D shape, a 3D Goomba or a 3D character. But I tried, and I think I'm really happy with the art shapes and how you can use them. It's really challenging, but at the same time, it's really fun. Like, what can you do with these shapes? And that's someone that I really liked. And here is the column of Goombas. It's just the same figure, just one in top of the other, and just little bit turn around so they look like they are falling. And yeah, that's it for the Goombas. So we're going to look to the next animatronic. Here is the next enemy that I made. They are the Koopas, the Koopa troopas. I made a green version and a red version, as the original Mario games have. This one took a little bit more time than the Goomba, but I think it really looks like the Koopa. It's not perfect, it's not 101, but I think it captures the spirit, and that's what I wanted to do with these figures, capture the spirit of the real characters. And I made also a flying version, because I thought, oh, wait, I need to create this thing with some flying ones also. So the red Koopa troopas usually have also wings, so I made a wing version. And as you can see, the pose is different, and that's because I'm going to show you at the end of this video how I usually make these figures in parts, and then those parts I turn them around, so I use like an arm and a leg and things like that, and then make the figure, so I can use them a lot and make copies more easily. And this was the one that I wanted to show you now. It was not done the first things. It was done a lot after. I made a lot of figures before this one, but as it has a similar body to the Koopa troopas, I say, hey, I'm going to show them with it. And it's of course a hammer bros, also from the Mario series, and he has a small hammer here that I think it's the mine spike thing, and just with a little bit art shapes so it looks like a heavier hammer. And he has a similar face, just with a helmet. And that's it for this group of figures. Let's go to the next ones. And now let's show the start of the Darkride, Yoshi and his friends, the different color Yoshis. They are all called Yoshis, but yeah, the different Yoshis that are going to appear in the Darkride. There are different colors, of course, because the majority of Mario games have different color Yoshis, but they have different powers depending on the colors. And in the RPG games, they have like different charismas and things. So this is it looks like it was difficult to make, but actually it was not that difficult to make after the Koopas. And I was getting the hang of making with the art shapes more challenging figures. And these animatronics are of course the Yoshis, and you can see, apart of having all different colors, they have that actually changing the colors was the most time-consuming thing in all these Yoshi animatronics, because it was the same, and I need to get each. You can see like the nose is made of different spheres, so it was difficult to get all the spheres at the same time, because wow, it was a lot of time. A lot of time was changing the color only. But they have different poses, and that doesn't take so many time, as it needs a little bit of creativity. And I actually looked for some Yoshi Island artwork to look at the poses of Yoshis, and here's one like pointing somewhere, like in the Darkride, he's like saying, hey, the exit is there, or something like that. This one is with his arms folded. This one is sitting down with his mouth open. this is the classic green Yoshi, the famous one. He's running and walking. The white one has the same pose, but he's looking to the guests, Darkride. There's also a red one saying hello, that you've seen in the mountain, of course. And this one is throwing the egg, like in the Yoshi Island games. This one is really cute, and I really like it. He's sleeping, and the yellow Yoshi is looking at the sleeping pink Yoshi. He has like the eyes. I think it's really cute how it looks. It's all from the artworks from Yoshi Island. And this one I really like because this was done, the classic move of Yoshi spitting his tongue, and this one was done with the winter update icing to make the houses, the candy house with the icing, and I thought the idea of the icing is incredibly great, so thanks Frontier for it, and it looks exactly like Yoshi spitting his tongue, so I think it's great. Here are a flying version of Yoshi from Super Mario World. He has a bigger face because he actually has a Koopa in his mouth, and that's why he can fly. And this one does like the Earth Storm, the earthquake, the yellow one in Super Mario World. If you have played Super Mario World, is probably my favorite 2D Mario, so that's why there's going to be a lot of scenes of Super Mario World in the game. And here you have some baby Yoshis, and maybe they're a little bit too big for the size of the other Yoshis, but it was impossible to make them smaller. I really tried, and this is the smallest I could make them. But I'm quite happy because they have this droopy face that the real thing has, and I think they look really cute. And yeah, that's all in for the Yoshis. We're going to go to more Mario enemies. And here are more Mario enemies. These ones are more simple. Of course, they are the Piranha plants from the Mario series. Real famous enemies. This one is the typical one from the first games, that it was like only going straight and things like that. And these ones are the ones that have like a little bit more life from the 3D games. And what I wanted to make is this one, like it's attacking the right vehicle, and this one is going like to throw fire to the sky, and I think it's going to look great. And nothing more to add here. It was actually really hard to make the spots, and they're made with snow and not art shapes, because they didn't look too good with the art shapes. The art shapes were too big, so they didn't look right. So I decided to use like the snowy. There's like a snow. I don't know how to call it. It's snow. So that's how I made the white spots. And here we have some more classic Mario enemies. Of course, Bullet Bill. That it was pretty. I think this one was the easiest one to make. Actually, I made like fire. I suppose they're going to have like fire going out when you pass near them. And the eyes, yeah, this one was pretty easy to make. Of course, Chip Chip, that are the famous Mario fish. These are going to go in the water part of the Darkride. There's not going to be a splash or anything because it's not a water Darkride, but there's going to be maybe like some water or something like that inside it. It was also pretty easy to make, not really difficult, and I think it looks really similar to the real thing. And then one of the probably easier to make, but I'm really proud of it, and it's the bomb, the bomb from the Mario games. And I'm proud because it just looks exactly the same as the real thing. It's so, but it's because it's really easy to make. It's not because I'm good at this. And it's just like the white eyes and the little yellow shoes and the thing to give it like to make it move. I don't know how it's called. It's the toys have it. I don't know how it's called in English. Sorry. And something that I really like from this is that the candlelight post from the new winter update. Well, not new winter update, but you understand me. The last update. it's perfect for the bomb. But I'm really sad because I actually wanted to have like in the scene a lot of bombs surrounding the car, the right car, and lighting up, like switching on. But you can all the lights in the game you can actually make them switch on with the triggers in the right, but not the candlelight. And that's but I decided to leave it like that. They are going to be light up, and well, that's what it is. Well, it's a pity, but. And here are another famous Mario enemies, the Lakitus. These are the bad Lakitus that they are going to appear in the Yoshi Darkride, but this one like it's throwing the spike enemies. But this one is the good Lakitu, that the one that appears in the Mario Kart games, the one that has design with 3 laps to go and things like that. And this one is not going to be used for the Yoshi Darkride. Actually, it's going to be used in the future for the Mario Kart Darkride. And I think it looks really nice with the headset, with the racing headset, with the microphone and the ears headset and things like that. The glasses are done with the pirate stuff. I have to give thanks to Micrajo for the idea. So if you are here, Micrajo, thanks you very much for the idea of using that piece for the glasses. And we are going to pass to now Yoshi Island enemies. So we get into the Yoshi Island, Yoshi story characters, and this one is for the Yoshi Island scenes in the Darkride, because there's going to be 3 games in the Darkride, and one of them is Yoshi Island and the other Super Mario World, and the other is a spoiler that I'm probably going to spoil at the end of this video, so I don't mind. And of course, these are typical. Some of them are typical Mario enemies, but drawn differently, like in crayon style. And you have like the typical chain jump from the Mario games that it's very typical in the Yoshi story games. And I really like it because it looks like it's moving in the air with the animation. And here are 3 different colors of Shy Guys. This one is falling, and it's similar to the artwork from the Yoshi Island game. This one is saying hello. And here is Kamek. Kamek is like the witch that it's the main villain. Let's say it's like the main villain with Baby Bowser in the Yoshi Island games, because he's like the caretaker of Baby Yoshi. Of Baby Bowser. And what I'm really proud of this one, because I used the snowman hats and clothes to make the clothes of Kamek, and it looks really like the real thing. And yeah, the glasses are done with the Lakitu, but I'm really proud of this one because it's in spirit it looks really similar to the real thing. And what I wanted to tell is like a scene where because in the games what he does is make the enemies into bosses by making them really big, and that's what I'm going to do something similar in the Darkride. I'm going to get this little guy turning into this big one with lights and special effects and things. And yeah, but it's actually the same thing. I really like also how this stuff looks because it's really similar to the real thing. This is one of the things of the decorations of the Yoshi Island games. It's like a flower that is in the background, and you can get the flower in these games. And then there's the Yoshi's friend Pucci, yeah, like the dog from The Simpsons, but this one is more cool. And he can go like in top of spikes, and he can't get hurt with spikes and things like that. And I wanted to give it a show in the Darkride, so that's why it's there. And then I thought of, because I didn't want to really show Mario, and I thought it was going to really be difficult to make, but I tried, and because I tried, I started to make Baby Yoshi, because it's Yoshi Island. Why not make Baby Yoshi? Sorry, Baby Mario. Why not make Baby Mario? I'm Baby Luigi. And you can see Baby Luigi in some balloons attached, and Baby Mario here that is going to go on top of Yoshi. And I think it's going to look great. And thanks to making the baby versions, I start making more complex stuff. and I'm going to show that complex stuff in a minute. But actually, before showing you more complex stuff that I think you will all love, or maybe no, maybe you hate it how it looks because they look like balloons, but I think you will like it, and I'm really proud of how it ended. But before that, I want to show the boosts. These are for the haunted parts of the Darkride, and actually I have to tell something here, and it's that these things were the most difficult things to make of all the figures I made. Even the most complex one I'm going to show in a minute. These ones, oh man, these ones were so difficult to make. I started with this small boo, okay, and oh my god, the mouth and the eyes, because those eyes are made with the pipe, the ending thing of the pipe, and I don't know why it took so many time, and it took so much time, and it's not really that complex looking. It's super simple. It's supposedly to be a sphere with some face drawing, but it didn't look right, and I had to repeat it, and oh, it was horrible. I really hated doing the boos. And this one, I'm happy with this one because it really looks like it's embarrassed, like the one when you look at the boo. And this is actually the last animatronic I made. I actually finished just some hours ago building this one. And the King Boo was easier to do because it was bigger, and as the bigger the animatronic is, or the sculpt is inside coaster, the easier it is to make with the art shapes. But these cones, man, and I had to make this thing in the face to cover them, and it doesn't look that good, but I had to do it. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of these ones, but I just was fed up of making it, and that's how it's going to look at the end. And now we're going to with the fun stuff. And now comes the fun stuff, and this is the spoiler I was talking about. The ending of this ride is going to be based on Super Mario Galaxy 2, and you can see here Mario, Balloon Mario, or whatever you want to say. If maybe some of you have seen one of Newgrounds Flash videos so many years ago. I was in high school when I watched it for the first time. It got really famous back in the 2000s. It was like a Flash animation with something called Mario Twins, and it was with Mario music, and they had these really crappy Mario and Luigi looking guys, and they look just like this Mario, and I love it. I really love it. But if you know Super Mario Galaxy 2, the box art cover, it's just like the Super Mario with Yoshi flying, and what I want to make this ending of the ride like in space, and Yoshi flying through space with all dark, with stars and planets and things like that, and I think it's going to look great. And I hope you like these versions, even if they are not that good looking Marios and Luigis and things. I think in spirit they look similar, and they were really fun to build, and I think that's what actually counts. And here are, this one was the first one, and this one was the second I made, and it's Mario carrying baby Yoshi, like in Super Mario World. This figure is for the Super Mario World section. And here is a scene from one of the Super Mario World artworks, where you can see Luigi and Mario looking at the first baby Yoshi hatched from the house, from Yoshi's house. And this scene is going to be like the first scene of Super Mario World. It's going to be like Mario and Yoshi saying, "Oh, what's this? It's baby," or something like that, but without talking, of course. And they're going to see Yoshi, baby Yoshi, that is going to help them in the adventure, and then they're going to visit with enemies and stuff. And this is the one of the first scenes, one of the complete first scenes of the ride. And then we're going to see. And then I said, why not try making the princess? And I started to make Rosalina. I actually hate that name. In Spanish she's called Stella, that I think it's much more beautiful name for her. Rosalina just sounds like one of these Mexican soap operas, and I don't really like the name. But yeah, Rosalina, I made it the first. I thought it was going to be impossible to make, but wow, it was, and really it wasn't that difficult. And it was like a night I'm playing with the game, and I was trying to make the dress while I was watching actually Footloose, if you have, and I was making this dress, and all was going super smooth, and I was loving how it, and the hair, and when it got to the hair, I was loving how it looked. So I said, yeah, I'm going to make Peach also, and I made Peach. Her hair was a little bit more difficult to make, but I think she looks like Peach, and that's the important bit, that in spirit they look like the real things. And then they made Toad. Toad I'm not really that proud of. He's maybe a little bit too tall, but it was impossible to get it smaller. And yeah, Toad, it's roughly the size of, a little bit smaller than the princesses, so it looks like Toad. But yeah, he's not going to be used that much in the ride, just once or twice. And this is one I made today, Bowser. He was really easy to make because he was a big guy, and as I have said, as the bigger the guy is, the easier it is to make with the art shapes. And he looks really nice, I think, with the spikes in the back. And the only stuff that I really don't like are the teeth, because the cones are too big, they are too difficult to hide, and that's a problem. But the cones were the only thing that worked to make the mouth, and I tried even to make them without teeth, but it didn't look right. So at the end I made the teeth like this, and I think it looks serviceable. And then Mecha Koopa, you maybe know this from Super Mario World, the ending where Bowser throws them. And that's actually the ending part, and the last thing I'm going to show in this video. The one of the big scenes of the ride is going to be a Super Mario World ending. And here is the Super Mario World ending, and I'm really happy with how it looks, because I could even do the magic feather cape that Mario has. This is also based in one of the Super Mario World artworks drawings that are out there, official artworks, with the clown copter that looks exactly the same as the real one, because it's really easy to make, because it was made with normal basic shapes in the real thing, so it was really easy to make. And you have like Peach crying for help here, and Bowser throwing a Mecha Koopa to Mario. And this is one of the endings of the ride, because it's going to have 3 endings. This one is the Super Mario World ending. And I wanted to talk, just to end this video, how I make this stuff. And of course it's with the art shapes, but here you can see my workshop. This is to see the size of the characters, so they don't get too big, to compare them with the actual real animatronics from the game, and with the guests. And here's you can see Yoshi divided in parts, with the arms and the hands and the head, like the Lakitu head and things like that. And this is basically what I use. I create the bodies separate, and then I start to give them the different poses, to the ones that have repeats, of course, and things like Bowser, that I didn't know if it's going to appear once or twice in the ride. So I have it made with separate body parts, and that's why he has the like the arm get up with the Mecha Koopa in his hand, and here he's just in the basic Bowser shape, and you see like Mario with the face separate, and here you can see a very creepy when I started to make the Mario face. That actually was the Luigi one at the end, because it was too long. And here is how for example, one of my first versions, where I started with a really big body for Mario, and it didn't work out, so I had to use smaller spheres. And yeah, that's basically it. Here's a crowd shot of the 60 figures that are going to be in the Darkride. I hope you like this video, of course. I'm really happy of how much work I made for the Darkride. I think it's going to look great inside the game with the track and the rooms and everything. And I don't know how much it's going to take building the Darkride. Maybe it takes 2-3 episodes. It's not going to be easy to make because I usually make stuff, not rides, and I have to make rides this time. But I'm super hyped to start working on it, and I hope you've liked this video. And if you've liked this video, of course, subscribe to it, subscribe to my channel, and give me a like. And I see you next time. Goodbye.